What's good, you guys? Rucker here, aka James. Welcome back to week 3 of the season 3 DTC season review. We're back. There's a lot more stuff going on each week. I'm thinking about adding any important drops or changes to teams in the coming weeks. We'll see how that goes. But overall, this is about what's going on in the DTC this week for the B League. There's an A League and a B League. We're going to review scores, go over the kill leaderboard, suggested improvements of the week, the biggest surprise, upset, or best read, and the featured battle of every week. So we're going to hit right into this. And week 3 battles and scores. The biggest winners of the week from the Moon Division is Endgame with the Backcourt Crocodiles, and they are 4-0 win over Aaron Mercer. And the big win in the Sun League is Q the Costa Rican with a 4-0 over Weedy, who's been doing really, really good this season. So, that's a huge win. But other than that, there was a 3-0 in favor of N20 Hero. I'm not sure if that was a forfeit win or not. I'm not sure. I didn't do as bad as I thought I was going up against Fist to Your Doom and the Soul Salamances. He got a 3-0. Things could have changed. Should have brought knockoff or something. Flygon beat Dante with a small win of a 2-0. Cahoots lost with a 2-0 to Crawdaddy. Metamech bringing the heat with a 2-0 win over the Escavaliers, and the New York Ninjas got a 2-0 win over Doncho and the Marika Morpicos. So as you can see, things are starting to dial in. People are getting used to their teams, or making improvements to their teams, so everything's not such a drastic range. There's no 6-0s, 5-0s, stuff like that. So it's starting to get reined in, and we're starting to see where everybody kind of filters in and fits. Week 2 leaderboards. With Fist's win, he goes to the number 1 slot with 3-0 and at a plus 14 differential. Now, Crawdaddy also has a 3-0 record, but he's only at plus 7. He didn't get as large of wins, and he also has a forfeit win, which really doesn't help his rating overall all that much. Third goes to N20 Hero, who's 2-1 at plus 8. Fourth is Weedy, who's 2-1 at plus 4. Fifth goes to Q the Costa Rican, who's 2-1 plus 3. Tyler is number 6, who is 2-1 at plus 3 as well. Seventh is Flygon, who's 2-1 at plus 1. Eighth is 2-1 at plus 1, which is Mero. Ninth is Doncho at 1-2 with minus 2. 10th is 1-2 minus 3, which is Metamech. 11th is Cahoots at 1-2 with negative 4. Now we go all the way back to the Sun League with 1-2 minus 4 being in 12th, which is Dante. Endgame, who is in 13th, is 1-2 with negative 5. Aaron Mercer, who's lost back-to-back weeks, unfortunately, is 1-2 at negative 6, who's 14th. Vegas Golden Cavaliers, Scythe rounding out the bottom 2 with 0-3 at minus 6. And me being in last at 0-3 at minus 13. Some hard losses in the beginning, hoping to still rectify that, but I went negative 3 against the best guy in the league right now. So, as you can see, teams are starting to round out again. We don't want that. Kill leaders. Dragapult has made its way to the top. At 7-1. Mega Blaziken also staying at the top, but now it's 7-3. Dialga with 6-1, Lunala with 6-1, Kyurem White 5-2, Sylveon, Arceus, Corsola G, and Darkrai all at 4-0, and Nihilego at 4-0. As you can see, some of these mons you would think would be up here, and then other ones not so much. You see two mons from two separate teams are on the top of, well, on the leaderboard. Dialga and Sylveon being 3rd and 6th, being part of one team, and then Corsology and Darkrai also being part of one team. Now, the improvement suggestions of the week. I'm not going to do myself because I already know what I have to do. It's called Play Better. But improvements team-wise, not play-wise, team-wise. Scythe, who is rank 15, 0-3 at -6. The low man on the totem pole for his team is Phalanx. Personally, I feel like it's ranked way too high in this draft for its actual viability. It's got a niche ability and whatever else with no retreat, and it's cool and whatever, but it's just not doing it, and it also doesn't really help his team out a whole lot. If he swapped that out for the same tier, which would be Jellicent down at the bottom there, it gives him bulky water, which helps combat a lot of his weaknesses. And not only is it bulky water, but it can perform hacks and all kinds of other crazy stuff that people really don't like. Or he could upgrade Phalanx for Skarmory, which I know it gives him dupe flying, dupe steel typings in two separate mons. Dupe flying with Unpheasant and dupe steel with Steelix. But it gives him another Fogger, which he's only got one removal, which would really, really help him. The defog. Also, it gives him options for spikes. It allows him to run other mons more offensive. It would give a lot of pressure off of the Cloyster. So the Cloyster could now be an offensive Cloyster instead of a spinning Cloyster. There's a lot of changes he could make in his draft right now. He also has 100 free draft points, which is kind of scary. I have 0 free draft points, and I'm 0-3 at -13. His team is underwhelmed point-wise as opposed to everybody else's team. He's got 100 free points. Also, with Phalanx being one of his Z users, it's not really the greatest mon. It doesn't have super coverage in every direction. It's not the greatest thing to use, in my personal opinion. So, hopefully, Scythe watches this, and he looks to swap Phalanx out with something that has more utility and more versatility, making the rest of his team able to perform where they should. And with that, we're going to move on to the biggest surprise, upset, or read of the week. Now, this one actually comes before the battle even starts. The best read of week 3, in my opinion, is Flygon and his use of the item weakness policy. Weakness policy, when you get hit with a move that is super effective against you, it boosts your stats. Your attack and special attack, I do believe. So in prepping, he knew that Dante, Twilly Realm on the other end, would have super effective moves on Zamazenta or Flygon or somewhere in there, and the weakness policy would allow him to set up far enough where he could take out the Zamazenta crown, which was all that Necrozma was actually brought for. And as we can see in the video as it plays here, the battle gets ready and it starts, comes in, Necrozma is the lead, knowing that something is going to either U-turn, first impression like this, which is a bug type, activates that weakness policy, turns it into a super scary mon, and just as Flygon predicted, Twilly Realm or Dante sent in Zamazenta to take out Necrozma, and it did not work. Zamazenta gets blown back, and as a small added bonus to the beginning of this, Espeon, Coco goes in and then swaps out with Volt Switch, chip damage. but Espeon comes in, which I think is just a sack off so that something else doesn't die. But Espeon gets wiped as well. Um, uh, the crossbow eventually falls to the uh, fire cat there. Now I can't remember its name. Um, falls to that, and Cinderace. There it is. Falls to Cinderace, but still taking out 2 Mons. Um, especially the one Mon that you really wanted gone to begin with, is kind of crazy. Then onto the Battle of the Week. Goes to Q the Costa Rican and Weedy. Now, last week you saw Weedy in here for highlights because of his plays, his insane plays, and his great reads. Um, Unfortunately, he's on the losing end this week, and Q picks up another win. It's mostly due to the fact of that super fat Yveltal and the D-Dance physical Dragapult, which is a lot to prep for. This is a hard team to deal with as far as all that goes. Rocks would help a lot, but and as you can see, Weedy does make some decent reads on where he should go. Ice Shard taking out the Rotom. Um, Donphan really could help a lot taking out Yveltal and Dragapult, but unfortunately in this battle, it doesn't really get what it needs to off, and the Mons here just kind of don't stack up well. This Suicune, being a rest set, kind of walls the Celesteela pretty well. And then this nice fat Yveltal comes in, does a ton of damage. It's got Taunt to prevent healing, Wish spreading, prevent statusing. This Heatran is actually very helpful in getting the Toxic off on this Mew. You would think that, a lot of the physically or especially offensive Mons that Weedy has with a breakthrough, but just the mounting defense that both Yveltal, Suicune, and Heatran have, it's just all pretty insane. You know, the loss of Donphan coming up right after this is super huge, and it kind of compounds over time. The Ice Shard there not picking up the knockout is super unfortunate, and Oblivion Wing is just such an overpowered move with how much recovery it gets. And this swap out here, I think, was the biggest mistake that Weedy made in the battle. I don't think Lava Plume would have killed Blaziken. And he could have just low kicked it from the beginning, or protected then low kicked if he brought it. The U-turn there means that now Ham Sandwich is going to outspeed after the Dragon Dance, so there's no way for Weedy to really catch up from here. The use of Phantom Force to avoid those super effective hits is kind of crazy. Avoids the Heavy Slam. He's going to get the Heavy Slam after this, but he takes a lot less damage doing it this way. He can take it out now with Dragon Darts, and then Blaziken is just easy pickings again for Dragon Darts because now he's so fast. Dragapult is just a huge mon to overcome. Yveltal is just a huge mon to overcome. The speed of Dragapult is just so hard to deal with on its own, and then you throw in the bulk of rest set Suicune and the bulk of Yveltal. It's kind of insane, along with the bulk that also can come in Talonflame and in Heatran. It's just a hard team to deal with, and unfortunately, Weedy did not perform as well as he normally does in this battle. So Q played really, really well and pushed Weedy back with the strategy that he built. I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this content, please leave a like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Also, down in the comments below, if you have any kind of constructive criticism, let me know. If you want to see a faster format, slower format, let me know what's going on. Again, this is only one half of, oops, there's a typo. This is week 3 results. The other half is done by Spencer. And his link will be in the description below. It'll also be in the card up above. Thanks again. Stay safe in these crazy, crazy times. There are riots, there's disease, there's insanity rolling around. Peace out for now, you guys.